Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tolly and Neely show here on the Pregame Network. I'm Tolly Carr, a little different location, not in the studio. We are at the home kitchen because we have talked about it for too long. Crackling cornbread. We've got to try it. We've got to get it done. So this is the week we're going to do it. We're going to talk a little sports, a little culture, a little life, and we're going to make crackling cornbread. For you and for me. It's all my ingredients are right over there. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's bring in our guy. Uncle Neely is in the house, fresh with the beard oil on sale. Neely, entrepreneur. What's up, my man?
What's crackling? What is crackling, my guy, Tolly Carr? Hey, man, this has been a long time coming, as Sam Cooke would have sung. We are in your kitchen, where you're in your kitchen, and you got the ingredients for crackling cornbread on deck.
I do. Let's keep talking here. And Neely, I'm fresh off a run, so I don't know how much people at home can see, but I got on my running clothes. I threw this Panama hat on. Hang in there, Panama. It'll get better. I threw on this Panama hat because my hair is crazy. Because I was outside running in the 26-degree weather.
Oh, it's cold.
And, I think my Jerry curl froze up on me. So
now, what's the green top milk? Is that buttermilk?
Reduced fat, 2%.
Reduced fat. See, I thought reduced fat over here is blue. It's a blue type of reduced fat.
This side of the Mississippi, man, we go green, Neely. We go green. All right, Neely, let's before we jump into it, man, let's make sure we got all the ingredients, right? Got my muffin mix. I got an egg. I will sell egg to the highest bidder. I got my milk. And I got my crackling.
Before we get on that crackling, go back to the eggs again. That's a short stack. You didn't get a full dozen. You got a 3-pack. See, the way you held it up the first time, it looked like a full 12.
Hey, man, it's tough out here, Neely. A dozen donuts? Come on, bro. No, man, we can't do that.
What was missing? What did they sacrifice? What did they go through?
Well, my son woke me up this morning and said, Daddy, I need pancakes. That was the first thing he said when I woke him up. I said, hey, boy, we got to get ready to go to school. I want pancakes. So that.
You used the egg.
Yeah, man, that's what it calls for.
Yeah, I understand. Pancakes for me, take an egg and take milk. None of that add water stuff.
No. Ain't nobody got time for that water, bro. You gotta. Like Alicia Keys sang to that boy in that song, I put a little extra milk in yours. I don't be cutting it with that water.
You came by the cafe every day, might as well.
Yeah.
Tolly, now I got to go to your crackling for a second. I know you got your chicken.
Okay, here's the thing, Neely. I usually get my crackling in the tray. Now, I went to the grocery store today where the people go that put their dogs in a seatbelt. I went to that grocery store. I couldn't find it in the tray, so.
You went to the wrong. See, when you held that bag, now let me tell the audience this now. I ain't never made crackling cornbread in my life. Hell, I ain't never made cornbread in my life. But I am a connoisseur of the fine things in life.
You have eaten some cornbread.
Cornbread and crackling. I don't know if the skins, which you have, are going to yield the same result that crackling yields, because skins are kind of absorbent, porous, and even though they crunch, they're a little soft. Crackling is hard and firm. I don't know how this is going to turn out for you, Tyler, because you're not really using crackling. You're using skins.
I couldn't find it, man. I walked all the way around and I said, ain't this something that these folks
you said you went to the grocery store where the dogs riding seatbelts. You went to the grocery store where the dogs are actually in the store as service animals.
Yes, they are.
You got to go to the grocery store.
I know which one I got to go to.
A pregnant stray dog is outside walking around. You got to go to the grocery store where you see a shopping cart about 2 miles before you even get to the store. That's where you went wrong, Tyler. You didn't go to the right place.
All right, let's talk about America. This is America. It was a 2-part trip. I was going to run and get the groceries. So I went and got the groceries first before I got sweaty. But this grocery store is connected to the trail head where the trail starts. Now, Neely, you know, at the other grocery store, we don't have a trail. We don't have places to exercise.
You got one as a trail you don't want to run on. You got that right. Hey, in the name of public safety, you did the right thing.
It was cold outside. Like, come on. The heat might not have been working at that other grocery store.
Not to...
But we're going to make it work, Neely. We're going to make it work.
Not to try to one-up you, but I got to share this with you.
Go ahead.
Guess what I had for lunch today?
Lobster mac and cheese?
No, you got to go along the lines of crackling now. We got.
What did you have for lunch?
Yeah, what did I have for lunch today? You got to get. I'm gonna
hoghead cheese.
That's a pretty good guess, but wrong.
Pig feet.
That's a bad guess, but wrong. Here's what I had. I'm gonna cover the brand up. I had sardines.
Well, hot sauce. I like mine with mustard.
Well, I added a little mayo and mustard, stirred it up, and the crackers in there,
All right, so I got my mix, Neely. I maybe don't have the right crackling. I got more skins.
Ain't no maybe.
How about if I should break them up into little pieces, you think, huh?
Yeah, because those are the two good. Now, here's what. Now, I'm not trying to suggest you change your camera angle in production. You're also not supposed to eat them while you're making it.
Oh.
But I don't know if you got an assistant off camera doing all your stirring or what, because we ain't seeing the action.
Oh, I've been stirring. I got a spoon. I've been stirring.
So what's in the cup?
Hey, when your grandma used to make cake, did she let you lick the bowl when she was done?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, that was better than the cake, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far I got the cornbread mix, the milk and the egg.
All right.
So now I got one egg. Now I gotta add the crackling. See, now I've never made crackling cornbread. Obviously, I've never tasted it, so I obviously haven't made it.
I'm gonna help you out, Tyler. I'm gonna do some Googling while we're right here together.
Okay, I'm just gonna break it up, man. I'm just gonna break it up. Now I get you on the absorbency. I can feel the absorbency of this is going to be higher, the skins than the crackling. And I don't know how many to crack up in here, but we're gonna make it happen, man.
Let's see, can I help you out?
I'm gonna do it with about the same ratio as my blueberry pancakes or blueberry muffins that I made. Oh dang, this one looked like an onion ring, bro. I gotta eat that one. Okay. All right,
I skim over these recipes. You've been using the right stuff.
All right, I'm gonna break it up a little bit and mix it up in there good. All right, man, let's talk a little football, bro. I know we're getting closer to the draft. One of these stories that I've seen, man, is that Shedeur Sanders is currently the all-time leader in college football history in pass completion percentage. Neely, that is one of the best stats that we judge quarterbacks by. What does that tell us?
Well, arguably, I'm not talking about an eyeball test because you've had a Vince Young out there, you had a Steve McNair out there, you had a Lamar Jackson, he was in college as well, and so you've had dynamic runners and passers, Michael Vick, the list goes on and on. But arguably, as he won the Golden Arm Award, the Johnny Unitas Award, and now holds the #1 position in all of college football history, not just this season, as the highest completion rate of any quarterback. Mm-hmm. That puts him in the discussion as one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever.
Oh, Neely. Now, they done got mad. Got me talking like I'm from North Carolina, which I am. You upset the crowd. You upset the crowd now. The greatest of all time conversation? Come on, Neely.
Look, let me tell you this. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. It's just that simple. Had you asked me before that feat was accomplished, was Shedeur Sanders in the discussion for greatest college quarterback ever, I would say not. Probably not. More than likely not. But when you look at the final numbers of his college career and you stack them against the greats, again, it may not be your style of play, your eye candy, but when you look at the numbers and the metrics, he's in a discussion. This past week, Kevin Durant joined the 30,000 point club in the NBA.
Yep.
There's like 8 people who've done this. Kevin Durant entered the discussion of GOAT now. Is he the greatest of all time? Probably not. Do you have to include him in the discussion? He scored 30,000 points. How can you not? In the history of the NBA, he's done something only 8 people have done. He's in the damn discussion. In the history of college football, since Newt Rodney said, why don't we throw the ball down the field instead of hand it off?
All right.
This guy literally has the highest completion rate of any quarterback ever. How does that not put him in the discussion?
Did this record sneak up on you? Like, I knew it was high. I didn't realize until I just saw it online. It was the highest of all time this past season.
Yeah, I don't know why I let it sneak up on me, because ever since Jackson State, he has always been, each season, and then even compared with the overall record, he's always been 1, 2, or 3 in his completion percentage. He's always been the highest, the second highest. You take that data, put it up to the historic data. He was always right there in the mix. Same thing with touchdown passes. He was always right there for the school records, and then thereby right there for the NCAA records. And so as the data got compiled over the 4-year run of him playing quarterback, started all 4 years, his freshman year at Jackson State through his senior year at Colorado, the first number is a 7. Like, he has a very high completion percentage rate. I think that there are going to be detractors when they look at it and then try to measure the success that some of those other quarterbacks in the top 3 completion rate have had in the NFL. People are going to be pointing that out. But when you look at his skill set, the way he takes care of the ball, his command of the offense, his ability to read defense, his ability to dink and dunk down the field and also go for the deep ball when it's there, I'm telling you, Tolly, it may make people go like, oh, man, come on. But when you look at the numbers, the brother's in the discussion. He's right there.
All right, let's continue this conversation. Let's take a look at the raw materials here. Not my greatest mix. I'm not liking the consistency right now. Usually it's a little more fluid. It looks a little lumpy here. So this might go down as the worst cornbread ever. I did start the oven at 350. I needed it to be at 400. So let me give it a second to warm up. But like your oven at home, you got to gauge for what the true temperature is. My 400 is more like about 390. So I have to grade on the curve when it comes to that. Neely, let's talk about holding on to the ball. Did he padded his stat numbers, Neely, by holding on to the ball?
Wait, walk me through that again. Now, he padded his stats by holding on to the ball?
Yeah. So if it wasn't going to be a completion, he just held on to it. That's what they said. This is me being facetious, folks. Don't come for me.
I mean, what about all the highlights from JSU to Colorado where a receiver dropped a pass that was gift repped, and how that would have furthered the percentage had they caught the ball? I don't think he's holding the ball to pad stats. I think he's holding the ball, waiting on the play to develop, because he believes in his quote unquote Superman ability, and somebody's going to get open, and he's always trying to throw the ball. And I think when he's holding the ball as well, it's to protect the ball instead of just gunslinger mentality. When you look at the year that Brett Favre led the NFL in touchdowns, he also led in interceptions. That's like a point guard having a 10 assist game and also having a 10 turnover game. If holding the ball protects the ball, don't you want him to hold the ball? Don't you want the ball in the hands of the best player on your team? And if you look at 3 of the 4 years he played, that would be him or Travis Hunter. He's supposed to hold the ball.
I agree with you. As the cornbread goes into the oven, is that the most important?
But I didn't see the size of this skillet or pan or whatever but like how much?
I held it up for you. Oh, it should yield about. I don't have my glasses on. If this were to be muffins, it would yield about 6 muffins. So It's in a flat pan, so it's going to be a little more like a loaf. There'll be about 6 to 8 slices coming out of it. Yeah, so we'll be good about 17 minutes. We're going to either have the best thing ever or the world's most notoriously bad cornbread. We're going to find out.
Oh, no, let me tell you this, brother. You used milk.
Yes.
You used egg.
Yes.
You use essentially cake mix.
Yes.
Like, there's no way this turns out bad. All right? Wait, it gets better. You like skins.
Yeah.
You added something that you like to something that can't be bad unless you burn it.
I'm feeling the faith that you have.
Yeah, oh, you gonna eat it. Like this, you might not enter it into a contest nowhere down the road, but you're going to eat it.
Hey, we might inspire Chef to throw it on the menu. Back to Shedeur and throwing. Is completion percentage, like if you're a draft, expert, if you're in the recruiting staff, scouting staff, is that your top number when you look at analytics for quarterbacks? Is completion ratio?
It may not be. You're probably looking at winning first and foremost. Your quarterback has to be a winner. It has to be somebody who has confidence and believes in himself. You have to look at the leadership ability now. And here's why I'm saying all those things, Tolly. The given is that these guys can throw the ball. All right? So we understand that if I'm about to draft a quarterback and I got a couple of guys to pick from, they all have an arm. They all have legs. So, that's the given. We don't have to debate that part. So now we're looking for those intangible qualities of leading a franchise. Will people follow this person? Does this person have command of a room with leadership abilities that make other people around them better? Can they be the face of a franchise? Shedeur checks all those boxes. And then when I get to the more metrics of football, if you will, it's like akin to baseball. At some point, the goal is to get the ball on the bat and get to first base. And so if you show me a guy who's batting above 300 and he's getting on base, his on base percentage, how does that not equate to he's a damn good baseball player? I go with the basketball analogy again. I don't care what you think about LeBron or Kareem or Michael or whoever. When you scored the most points that anybody's ever scored, it means something. If the goal is to not turn the ball over, if the goal is to complete passes and every one play get at least 3 yards so that every 3 plays results in a first down, how does someone passing north of 70% not apply to their ability to win a game? They're moving the ball down the field. That means they're throwing a ball and the person is catching it at a greater percentage than anything negative is happening, a miss or interception. Inverted of baseball. Baseball, you can fail 70% of the time and go to the Hall of Fame because you're batting 300. This brother is completing over 70% of his passes. That has to be a great thing if you're looking to draft him.
What about these windows, these NFL windows versus these college windows? Can Shedeur thread that needle and get it into what NFL Open is compared to being open in college?
He can not only do it, we've seen him do it. He can not only do it, he does it in the situations where it just has to happen. And we've seen him do that. And we've seen him doing it while on the run. Think about the shoddy offensive line protection he had when he rolled out, going across his body, and threw a ball where only LaJohntay Wester can catch it for a touchdown, and that was down low to the ground. Think about the Celebration Bowl when on 4th down with 4 seconds remaining, the only way we go into overtime is I got to get this ball to Travis Hunter in the end zone right on the sideline, and he puts the ball where only Travis can get it. Saw him do it down at Alcorn. You saw him do it all career long for the 2 years of Colorado. I think he's proven that he can get the ball into tight spaces, and that even though the catch radius of the receivers may increase in the NFL, the window because of the defense also decreases. he's proven he can put a ball just where the receiver can get it. And that's what aids the completion percentage. I think people are making a mistake in thinking, oh, he's 75% or so because he's throwing just 3-yard passes or just 5-yard passes, or it's a little jet screen and he just did a little toss. He's got the same percentage on his deep ball as he got on the short ball.
Now that's noteworthy. Like that, just in case they didn't hear it, Neely. One more time. Same percentage on deep ball as the short and intermediate routes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So there's not a place on the field he can't throw the ball, whether he's rolling left, rolling right, or dropping back. He can still get it there. His arm strength is there. His accuracy is there. All of that translates to the NFL, and it's undergirded, it's supported, it's defined by he has the highest completion percentage in the history of college football. Not this season, not this week, not his 4-year window against who he played. In the history of the NCAA, Shedeur Sanders has the highest completion percentage ever.
And that laughs in the face of so many critics and things that critics had to say. Oh, you went to Paris Fashion Week. You're not dedicated to the team. Oh, you're too worried about social media. You're too worried about NIL. There's too many cameras. Neely, despite all of that, finishing with the highest completion percentage in all of college football history, I think it's part of the way that you have to look at college football with a different set of eyes. And it's not about what you like, what you don't like. We're now into data proving it can be done differently and the world will not fall apart.
You know, we have this new era of college football, this NIL space we're in, where college athletes are going to have other things to do. If you are a successful on the field, on the court athlete, you're going to have other demands for your schedule. And you still have to have the ability of keeping the main thing, because that's why you have those other things to do now. Flaugier down there at LSU women's basketball, she had to do a performance. I think it was the ESPYs, and she was rapping for the ESPYs. Very talented lady, has a song with Lil Wayne. And she said, Kim Mulkey said, oh, go do what you got to do, but practice is tomorrow at 8 a.m. And as long as you can do those things and be here at practice, because keep in mind, Shedeur didn't miss practice. He missed a team meeting to go to Paris. And so as long as you're at practice and you're performing and you're doing your role, these other things are not distractions the way people look at them, because those opportunities didn't exist at the time. It's 24 hours in a day. More than ever, these student athletes and now even professional athletes have the empowerment to chalk out what they're doing with their time, whether it's podcasting, on the professional level or the amateur level, or whether it's NIL obligations. You now have more to do than just play ball. And so Shedeur has shown that whether it's cameras around him, or whether it's marketing opportunities, whether it's his podcast show, none of that takes away from his performance on the field. I would submit to you that it even enhances his performance, because the more times he spends doing something else, by the time he gets back to practice or his football time, he's doubling down on workouts and intensity to make sure nothing is taken away from the main thing.
Neely, I was just thinking the same thing, that it's the inverse of what the casual critic might think, because if you look back at this season, you could say, oh, you look back at the last 2 seasons. Oh, Colorado was all hype. It was all hype. There was no substance there. You had a guy in Travis Hunter that won the Heisman, took more snaps than anyone in football history, played both sides of the ball in a way like we have never seen before, and his quarterback was the all-time leading percentage leader in pass completion. So you got 2 guys that were more exposed than the majority of people we've seen in college football, and delivered the results at the highest level with the highest return on their statistical data that you can easily go and look at.
And what was the first thing they said, Tolly? Oh, that was cute for HBCU. That was cute for the SWAC. Oh, that was nice for Jackson State. There's no way it's going to transfer. It not only transferred, Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy, and Shedeur Sanders won the Johnny Unitas Award in the same year.
And with the NFL draft coming up, could go 1, 2, top 5. I mean, that's to be seen, but they're not going to be sitting in the. I mean, they won't be in the green room, but if they were, they wouldn't be that guy. They wouldn't be that guy with the long face at the end of the night.
Both of these brothers will be gone before the 4th pick.
Top 4.
Whether they're 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 2 and 4. By the time you get to pick number 5, Travis Hunter is gone. Shedeur Sanders is gone.
What are you thinking? What has the Neely meter moved for you in any particular way on what spot they might fall? Because a lot of this is based on need, and when you talk about best player available, that's going to be Travis the entire time he's on the board. Have you put more thought into where they might go in that top 4?
You know, one of Willy Wonka's greatest inventions that we did not get to experience was smell-o-vision. I can smell this upcoming draft just like you're smelling that crackling in your oven right there cooking.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh. We're going to find out.
And here's what I smell. I smell that these guys are going to go high in the draft. It's hard for me to say which team because I wouldn't be surprised if somebody trades up. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody trades up with Tennessee to get the first pick overall. I wouldn't be surprised if someone from that 6, 7, 8 spot trades up to get in the top 5, to get Shedeur or get Cam Ward, because you may need them more than the other team needs them and be to entice them with some potential draft picks early on. So whereas I stand by that these guys are going in the top 4 picks, what teams they're going to, I can't say, because I believe outside of the top 4 picks, people are salivating and want to get their offers on the table to see can they move up in the draft.
Last time you and I spoke here on the Tolly and Neely show, you, as a diehard Cowboys fan, like the idea of Shedeur in New York, even though you don't like the Giants, divisional foe there. You still have those same feelings this week.
Absolutely. And this is not me speaking for Shedeur. Shedeur will tell anybody to listen, he doesn't care. He wants to go to the NFL to change a franchise, win a Super Bowl, and be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game at that level. So he could give it less if it's the Titans, the Browns, the Giants, or whoever. He just wants to get there. But when I look at all that this young man has experienced in life, all the things that he's been able to stand in the scrutiny of and still be a high achiever, we're better than the capital of the world. We're better than Madison Avenue, the marketing capital of the world, than New York. Shedeur doesn't blink around cameras. He's used to it. He doesn't blink around boos. He's heard them before. He doesn't blink around criticism. He's heard it all before. He just goes to work about his business. And to top it off, he's got $1 million smile and a great personality and a sense of humor. We're better than New York City. When you look at who has those top 4 picks, you could just see his personality fitting there because it's the city that never sleeps. It's the king of marketing and advertising. He's already been on Times Square. Why not?
And Neely, with all that being said, and maybe it's just me, but Daniel Jones could come sit right here and help me eat this crackling cornbread that's coming out in about 4 minutes, and I wouldn't know who he is. I mean, I know his name, but I wouldn't know his face. Probably not. Probably not. All right, this is something a lot of people haven't discussed. It just came to my mind. Shedeur Sanders grew up a rich kid, right? Now, I know his pops isn't going to just hand over money and spoil him because I know he raised them a little different. But still, Shedeur Sanders could have done whatever he wanted and had a comfortable life. But Neely, he was still hungry. He still came up as a dog. He still had that desire like he had to prove something. There was nothing soft about him, although he could have had a life where things were just easy for him and he just went on and just did whatever. What is it about him that grew up charmed life but didn't come out as a soft kid at all?
Well, it might have been charmed because the house was nice and the mattress was good. But he grew up being instilled with, this ain't yours. Like, this mine. Like if you want this, you got to do what I did and then some to go get yours because this is mine. And so, like I remember when the rumor was out that Jackson State paid Travis Hunter's family $1 million, for him to come to Jackson State, and Shedeur tweeted $1 million. Man, my dad get mad at me when I don't eat all the chicken off the bone. He made me go back and finish. I know we ain't paid nobody no $1 million. And so that's how he grew up with, you got to work for yours. You can't just live off being a Sanders or being Deion Sanders' son. If you want these great things to happen for you, you got to go in and put the work for them to happen. And he's had that hunger and that drive. And I think kind of like we talked about earlier about how things can have an opposite of impact. Instead of resting on being a Sanders, he said, I'm going to prove that I'm the best damn Sanders. I not only want to get drafted to the NFL, I want to get drafted higher than my dad got drafted. And that's the kind of fuel that he has, not just settling for a charmed life, as you put it. He wants that spotlight to prove he is who he is.
Okay, Neely, I'm starting to smell something, so I feel the need. Check it. All right, those edges look a little crisp. It might be time. The baby is ready to enter the world. A minute early.
Let's see what we got.
All right, y'all. Yeah, it's definitely crisp around the edges. All right.
Well, okay. All right.
Let me get something so I don't burn the countertops here.
You don't burn the countertops.
Because then my wife will say the same thing Deion told his children. This ain't yours. This is mine. And you burned it. All right.
And nothing protects your investment in a house like the kitchens and the bathrooms.
Yes, sir. Neely, because this is a black household, got to put some butter on top of the cornbread.
I was going to ask you, like, where are you going? Now, if you do like me, I don't even slice my butter. I peel the paper back and just use the butter as a brush and just scrub it around.
Well, I have my butter in a tub. I'm giving away all this product placement today. I mean, damn, we need a sponsor. Country Crop.
Put the link to him down at the bottom.
All right, let's see, Neely. Is that enough butter?
That's enough for the first stroke.
All right, let me turn off the alarm. The timer. All right, we're gonna get that thing melting, baby. Hey, Travis had an interview. I forgot who he was on, and I'm not trying to hate. I just literally forgot where I saw it. But he gave kudos to Jackson State. He said, "Hey, this Heisman, you can claim part of my experience." He let Jackson State know, like, I might have won this at Colorado, but we are in this together. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, Shedeur, all the players that have gone from HBCUs. Particularly Jackson State. And I say HBCUs because you had players from Southern and Grambling out there. But I say all the players from HBCUs, but specifically Jackson State, have always shouted JSU out in their Colorado success and went out there and continued to stay out there with a chip on their shoulder because they heard the rumors and the rumblings that it wouldn't translate. And a Cameron Simon Craig, a Shiloh Sanders, a Tyler Brown, you name it, Jeremiah, they were all hell-bent on, we're going to prove that we could be here and be dominant here. And they're more just like us where we came from, so don't sleep on the swag.
Cameron Silman Craig. I'm rooting for all the brothers, Neely, but man, I really think I just love his approach because he never made it about him, and he didn't care about doing a whole bunch of talking. But look, like you said, less twerking, more working. Like that was him.
Yeah, if whether Cameron Silman Craig gets drafted or goes an undrafted free agent, wherever he goes, he's going to be there. He's not leaving camp. He's going to get a roster spot. He's going to make the team. And so the team that drafts him or takes him signs him as an undrafted free agent, you better believe that they're getting one of the best to ever do it, the best person. He's just as great of a human as he is a player. And so they're going to get somebody that's going to last, man. He's going to make it. I saw a little softness to that bread. It kind of looked like sponge cake or something there. What's going on?
don't know, man. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. I'm checking it out here. I'm pretty adept at making cornbread, man.
No, look, you've said all along that cornbread is your thing. That you make cornbread, as a snack. Like you a cornbread king. You just never put the crackling to it. And for the record, you still haven't put crackling to it. Have you had a bite with the skins in it and the cornbread?
Not yet. I took an end piece. I have not tasted the. Now, see, you gotta.
I don't care if it's a brownie, cornbread, a casserole, a cobbler. You got to go for the corners.
I think my crackling might have settled in the middle.
You got to disperse the crackling, man.
Gotta do like the government. Spread the crack out.
Yeah, spread the crackling around.
All right, but Cameron Silman Craig, you say if he gets to camp, he ain't leaving.
Oh no. No, invite him just thinking and he'll be there a week or two if you want to. He making that team.
Wow.
Colorado J State, you walk in the meeting room, first person there, and it ain't no fluke, last person to leave practice, individual workouts through the charts, meeting with coaches, his film study. Everywhere he's been a leader on defense. People want to say this about his size. Look at Bob Sanders with the Colts and what he accomplished from that position. Look on the opposite side of the ball, Steve Smith with Carolina's receiver and what he accomplished. I think there's sometimes that you have a guy that has so much heart and dog in him that it defies what you think of metrics and measurement-wise because he plays so much bigger than he physically measures out to be. Cameron Silman Craig, from a football IQ, football ability, and what he brings to the table as a person, he's going to make whatever team gives him a shot. He'll be on that 53-man roster.
Let's go back on campus, man. Some new coaches on that staff. Marshall Faulk.
Another gold jacket. That's 3 Hall of Famers in the building. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, head coach. Coach Warren Sapp, who now has a new title and position of pass rush coordinator. We broke that on Wednesdays with Warren, latest episode. And Marshall Faulk assisting the running back room.
Neely, we've never seen this before. We have never. I saw somebody talking about Deion Sanders hadn't been going out and sitting in people's living rooms and recruiting. Neely, if you don't want to come play for 3 Hall of Famers and get their guidance on a daily basis, and you've seen the exposure you're going to get, do I got to come beg you for that, Neely?
Well, you're damn right and spot on. You don't. It sells itself, but it doesn't just stop there. Pat Shermer, the offensive coordinator, has been a head coach in the NFL, been a coordinator in the NFL, knows what it takes to get there and how to stay there. Rob Livingston has been on the defensive side of the ball in the NFL and knows what it takes to get there and stay there. You take even Tommy Robinson, who will be working with Marshall Faulk in that running game. The all-time leading rusher in the NFL is Emmitt Smith. Do you know who his running back coach was at Dallas? Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson worked at Texas A&M, LSU, you name it, with running backs and special teams. We could just keep going down the list. The new defensive line coach, Pico, plays Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos. Samoan brother knows what it takes to get to the NFL and stay there. You have NFL pedigree all around that room, offense and defensive side of the ball, and coaches with gold jackets as well. You don't have to go across the country and sit in the living room and try to sell Colorado and Coach Prime to somebody. You could just literally roll out the roster of coaches. And when you see what happens in this year's draft, the number of players from Colorado that get drafted, compounded with that coaching staff, recruiting changed.
Marshall Faulk was in the running a couple of years ago, or at least it was rumored that he was going to be the coach at Southern University. That's when he kind of popped up in my mind as a potential coach. Man, Neely, that is a lot of impact. That's a lot of, not only is it obviously a lot of skill set coming from the minds of these coaches, but Neely, what's more impressive to me is this is drawing people in who have a lot to offer the game, who have a lot to offer the kids who play the game, who otherwise might not be coaching, either didn't realize that they wanted that commitment or weren't given the chance. And I think Deion Sanders brings out that inner desire in people, and he's affording people opportunities.
My brother, even in Colorado, with all that we just named, 90% of people in the room ain't going to the NFL. They're going to become professionals in other aspects. You look at the Warren Sappett and Marshall Faulk and the Deion Sanders, 3 gold jackets in football, but look at the broadcast and journalism and marketing careers that they had as well. When you look around the room at the other coaches who've enjoyed success on and off the field in their business ventures, when you talk about learning how to be a coach, learning how to be a trainer, learning how to work in marketing and advertising and journalism, the professional environment that you are deep within in Colorado around these coaches, you will be in a position to be successful way outside of football. We want to produce as many pro athletes as we can, but the goal is to produce professionals who can be good fathers, good sons, good brothers, good husbands, etc. And that's what happens at Colorado, even if the NFL doesn't happen.
We also need to produce some good cornbread, Neely.
You know, I got to give it to you. You've been wolfing it down. I don't know how much is left.
I've eaten half of it already. I'm tasting a hint of the crackling, but I'm not like biting in and like.
Yeah, because it didn't stay firm. You kind of dissolved the skins into the bread versus that crackling holds firm and it's in there and you bite down on the piece every now and then. Your cornbread is probably so soft right now from these ingredients. You may be able to reach into your bag of skins. Here's a fat boy hack for you. Reach into your bag of skins, grab one of those skins that are curled, use it as a spoon for the cornbread. Get the bread on that thing and then bite all of it in one bite.
Fat boy tip number 1.
Oh yeah, fat boy hack now. I got plenty of them.
Oh look, it's like a cornbread stuffed skin.
Now, when it's you and the missus' turn to host a neighborhood party, I don't want to see no pigskins or hors d'oeuvres with cornbread on top of that.
Oh, Neely almost cussed. Boy, almost.
Stop it. Neely ain't gonna steer you wrong on food.
Neely, well, I was doing this wrong the whole time. I'm going to
put the bread on the skin.
Oh my God, Neely. Oh, it's like a black person's cannoli. I have a real funny joke in my head. I am not.
Oh, I did too. I was going to change cannoli to something else. Let me say. I'm about to say something else.
Let's just leave that alone. Oh my God, man. I'm going to cuss before this is over. This is good.
Ain't no way half of it left now. You just showed me half a pan. You got to be on the border right there.
Oh, Neely, I ran about 6 miles this morning. I am glad I did. Oh my God, this is good, man. All right, so here's what you do at home. Forget the crackling cornbread. Make you some soft, pliable cornbread. Get you some white folks crackling like I did, where you can then mash it into the crackling like Play-Doh. Neely. Oh my God. Ain't no way. I mean, I know my cholesterol is like through the roof right now after eating these cracklings, but good God, this is good. Holy cow, man. All right, before we get out of here, ain't no way Deion Sanders is leaving, bro. You got 3 Hall of Famers. I mean, come on. This doesn't sound like somebody who's putting together this machine and is also leaving.
I Not so fast, my friend. Let me tell you about my man, Deion Sanders. He is so damn good about being where his feet are. Like when he is somewhere, that's where he is. And that doesn't mean other things aren't taking shape, form, or fashion. He still hasn't signed an extension for Colorado. There have been rumors of 1 or 2 being placed in front of him. But if he ain't signed it, that means it ain't where he wants it to be. That's just a fact of the business. But he's not going to sit around and do nothing while he waits on that extension. I tell people, even when rumors were hot and heavy at Jackson State, hot and heavy at Colorado, all the way to the Cowboys, he doesn't move around the building like a guy that's leaving. Every day when he shows up to work, he's going to work like this is where he's going to be for the rest of his life. So you can't use his work ethic and how you see him navigating the day-to-day as the definer of, oh, we got him, we good, he ain't going nowhere. Don't be fooled by how he handles himself, because he ain't Neely. Let me tell you this. When Neely know he leaving, I stopped that day. Like, you remember back in the day, Tyler, people put in 2-week notice? I stopped working 2 weeks before I put in the 2-week notice because I know I'm finna put in the 2-week notice. You ain't getting nothing extra out of me when I know I'm gone. Deion Sanders has a gold jacket for a reason. He ain't like the rest of us. That brother will work where he is until he's no longer there, including the very last day.
So, don't get it twisted. Even though you see the empire, the dynasty, the whatever you want to call it, continuing to get stronger by the day, don't jump to too many conclusions, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
either way.
Don't let that fool you.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Yeah, that smooth taste ain't fooling you. You done knocked out a whole damn trough of cornbread. Not a pan.
Okay, let's break this down. That used to be a slice, so that was 1. That was 2. That was 3. That was 3 3/4. I'm almost 4 slices in, Neely.
All right, now, Fat Boy Hack 2. See that pan that you got there? All right. All that is pretty much crumbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pour your little milk in there and eat that part like cereal. Yeah.
How much milk?
Yeah, just enough to float a little bit, not soggy it up, you know. And it's going to aid in washing the pan when it's done.
Neely, you haven't been here before, brother.
Look how you had the spoon ready. Look how you had the spoon ready.
And I don't even like milk, Neely.
Yeah. Now tell me cornbread cereal ain't good. Tell me, see, Tolly, you got to understand, you got to deconstruct, you got to reverse engineer. Have you heard of something called corn flakes? Have you heard of Frosted Flakes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jiffy in its sweetness would be like the Frosted Flakes. When you get them crumbs, all you need is some milk and a spoon.
Neely, I thought I was country, bro. You got me beat. And this is good, too.
But let me tell you this, Tyler, as we wrap up. I'm reminded of the sage advice from Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi when he so eloquently pointed out and posed the question, who is more the fool or the fool that follows the fool?
I would say the fool that follows the fool.
Ain't nobody put no gun to your head and told you to eat my cornbread cereal. You did that willingly, and you enjoyed it.
And the bowl is clean.
I told you.
I've never in my life, in one sitting, ate this much cornbread. I got to go outside and run another 6 miles in the cold to burn off that 4 slices I just had.
And you did it for the chat. I hope the chat is paying attention. The love that you have for the chat. We've been talking about this crackling cornbread and how we're going to have some on air at the studio. You took it much deeper and further. You took the ingredients on air, put them together, put it in the oven, took it out the oven while doing the show, and consumed it with instant results, satisfaction, and gratification. It's on the top. Like,
We got
What do they
a
want, Tyler?
we got a new spin on the cannoli. We got a new spin on cornflakes. This was a very eventful day, Neely.
We got a big shout out to sardines.
Sardines, yeah.
Because this came for after the show.
All right, man. Black trivia. After this show ends in the next minute, what am I about to do next?
You about to you're not just finna go to sleep with the items. Like, that's the given. We got to go deeper. I'm projecting couch, one leg on the floor, one leg up on the back of the couch. It's not just a nap. Like, you ain't finna just get the recliner. Like, you finna lay out.
Like your dog does when you know your dog is good and tired. Just lay it there. I'm about to hit the Fido. I am about to hit the Fido, or King in our community.
Oh, that I just said it.
All right, that is the Tolly, Neely, and Cornbread show. It's been quite the adventure. Talked a little football, enjoyed a few delicacies, and hopefully it made you laugh along the way. We all need a laugh in 2025 for sure. All right, so until we catch you guys next week from Atlanta, from the SIP, wherever you are, we'll get together then. You guys enjoy the rest of your week.